Hi all. This is John again. I recently uploaded a video to my YouTube channel, GT Silver, on YouTube, doing a walkthrough of the Porsche integrated workshop or workshop information system. It's called PIWIS TSI, and I've had a lot of good feedback on that walkthrough. I really wanted to provide it as a way to illustrate or to demonstrate really the wealth of information that is available to Porsche owners. I'm very focused on the 991 configuration, or platform, but the information system is literally a gold mine of information about, I think, all Porsche models and configurations and years. I didn't search everything, but I see quite a depth of information going back in many years. So anybody that's a Porsche owner that needs to get to technical manuals and instructions and workshop manuals, this is a great resource. And so I did that walkthrough video to show people what's there. As I participate in the Porsche communities online, especially, I find that people don't really know where to go for this type of thing. So, at any rate, I did that walkthrough, and a question that keeps coming back to me through PM, private messages, email, people I'm talking to, and so on, is about the pricing. What is the pricing, and also for the money, is it worth it? And so I wanted to do another quick video. This is just going to be a brief one that talks about the pricing and my thoughts on the value, and is it worth it. So the short answer, for those that don't want to watch through this whole thing, short answer is the pricing is decent. It's what you make of it, or what you want to get out of it that's important. But I very much believe that it's worth every penny, at least to me, and I'll get into that. And also, I do want to point out that in the walkthrough, I talked about a couple different types of accounts. One is based on time, and the other one is based on a per slice or per document type debit account. I've learned very recently, in the last couple days, that Porsche was doing away with the amount-based or per the slice, per the document account model. So you're going to be limited to just using the time-based model, but I think that's okay too. I'll get into that. I've used both, as I mentioned in the walkthrough, your previous walkthrough. So with that, let's just get right to it. I'll first point out that for anybody that's going out and looking for this information, here's the URL for getting to this main page. And you can see right on the main page, in addition to facts and other things, and disclaimers, of course, they have a pricing sheet. And that pricing sheet is also something I posted up on a couple of online locations, plus like List and 6 Speed Online. But also I put it up on my blog being plenumsblogspot.com, and then here, of course. So as you can see, I mentioned there were two different types of accounts, time-based and money-based. This lower one, the money-based, you can see they told you basically for each type of document, repair manuals, paint manual, wiring diagrams, here's the charge. I've used just about every one of these documents. They're all helpful, useful. You can see that in US dollars, they're only $1.80 per. Now, some of these documents are a page long, so you're paying, more for a single page than, let's say, in some of these cases, it's 10 pages long. The other thing to remember is usually you don't have one document that doesn't require others. So it's going to be rare that you would go in the system anyway and find a work manual, a repair manual that's $1.80, and that's all you need to do, because most of the time they include prerequisites or pre-work and after work, and those usually are just links to other work manuals. So for example, changing the strut spring assembly on the front end of my car, there was, I don't know, 6 or 7 related work manuals for, they include things like raising the car, the proper way to get your car up on stands. They have references to removing the wheel carrier, removing the wheel, removing the brake. Those are all separate work manuals. So anyway, but at the end of the day, this whole money-based subscription model, I believe, from what I've learned, is no longer available. Um, I have an account. I just used up the last dollar in there, uh, and it was useful to me in the sense that I would just put $100 out there, US, and over the last year, just eat my way through that by debiting every time I needed a document. The time-based subscription, I never really considered too much. I have done the 1 hour subscriptions before. But you know, look at the pricing. I mean, for a full year, $7,000. I mean, that's pretty hefty for most people just to swallow for something that just is a document information system. You know, absolutely makes sense for repair shops, you know, service bays, you know, technicians, engineers that are working on these cars on a more frequent basis. I mean, some of these subscriptions make sense, and you can charge your clients basically to cover these. Um, I'm not really sure what this 1 year dash body is for roughly a little more than half the cost of the full uh, full year. But I have a feeling that might be something related to just body work alone. But I don't really know. I've never accessed it that way. Um, do I feel that these costs are worth it for somebody like myself who's just a hobbyist, you know, somebody that's interested in getting in and learning, using the documents to uh, explore how things are put together so I can take them apart and get them back together. I absolutely do. But, you know, you have to, you know, think about what is it you're trying to achieve here. Um, you know, you don't probably want to pay for this just to have it sitting around and never use it. And, you know, I tend to go pretty deep into some of the things I work on. If you look at my DIYs and postings, um, so for me, it's very valuable. I actually like the time-based subscription more. It's just, you know, why limit myself to an hour when I used to do the money-based one? Well, the difference is going to be for me is that it just changes how I work with the system. With the money-based subscription per the slice, I would just go in maybe once in a while if I needed something, grab it, and just wait for the account to be debited down. Um, but there was no rush, you know, it was kind of random. However, when I've used the 1 hour subscription in the past, it's like a land grab. You know, you go in there and you're like, I've got an hour. I'm going to run through the aisles and grab everything I can that I want. And especially like I've purposely never looked at these labor operations lists, which I'm very interested in doing, but not at $130 per document. So with the time-based subscription, I believe you can now access that and, you know, shoot, if you can, just get a copy of it, right? Um, and you know, just as a disclaimer, I'm not condoning people make copies of documents and you know distribute them and all that kind of stuff. I'm just explaining to you how I think about these things. So for me, you know, you can go in and do a 1 hour subscription. Maybe you can multiply that by 2 or 3 hours, and I think it's totally worth it if you want to go in and get as much information as you can to help you in your projects. Um, but you know, so that's basically the pricing model. I absolutely think it's worth it. If we go back to the main screens, I'll log in just real quick because I wanted to get to it. I think it was wanted to go. This is where you actually sign up for document access. Um, and yeah, okay. So here's what I wanted to show you all is I received an email notice not long ago, um, actually in the last several days, because I finally debited my account down to zero. And I went in to do this to just add a couple more bucks and saw this since basically last year. I didn't even know it happened, April of 2015. They no longer offer this. So even though they list them and they list them on the pricing sheet, you can't do that. So what I'll probably do from now on is go in and do, you know, one of these where I go in and say, okay, I'm going to order, you know, and put in your credit card and all that stuff. I've never had any issue working with the order forms in here. I know some other people have, I've run into online have said that they were having trouble getting it to process and things like that, but I don't know. I've never had that problem. Um, and so you just fill out the form, you know, typical online ordering process. It looks like you can only do a 1 hour, so maybe at the end of the hour, I would just do another increment. I'm just looking through to see if it had anywhere to get a quantity of 2 on this. I think an hour might be a little weak, but you know, 2 hours for $28 to me to get the kind of information you can get out of this tool is phenomenal. So with that, I'll just leave it as, you know, hey, my thought is it's totally worth it. For those that are questioning the value and the pricing, you know, if you want to chat with me offline or, you know, private message me or whatever, go ahead. Ask questions on my YouTube channel and on GT Silver, which is the YouTube channel, and my blog, which is plenums.blogspot.com. And I'll be happy to answer any questions. And if there's something you want me to find for you, let me know, and I'd be happy to do a search and tell you if it's there or not, or what might be there to help you out. And again, it's not limited to the 991 platform. So, you know, if you're looking for something else, just let me know. Thanks a lot for watching.